Good evening. I'm going to call the Blair Township Board of Trustees regular meeting of November 10th, 2020 to order at 6:05 p.m. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Zeitz,
Here.
Campbell,
Here.
Kuchera,
Here.
Lunstein,
Here.
Lees,
Present.
Wolfgang,
Here.
Fitzpatrick.
Here.
Brief public input. Hearing none. Approval of the agenda. However, before we approve it, I unfortunately need to make an amendment to it. I forgot to put on here the reappointment of Zoning Board of Appeals members as well as Planning Commission members. So I would like to add that to item L, as item L. Reappointments. ZBA, PC. Any other amendments? I would entertain a motion. Go ahead.
I'd make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of L.
Support.
As presented.
It's been moved and supported to approve the agenda as shown with the addition of item L, reappointment of ZBA and PC members. Roll call?
Campbell,
Yes.
Kuchera,
Yes.
Lunstein,
Yes.
Zeitz,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Lees.
Yes.
Declaration of conflict of interest. Anybody have any conflict with anything that's on the agenda tonight? Okay, item 7, presentations and special reports. Grand Traverse County Commissioners Report. We don't have one. I don't think that I've gotten any messages. He might pop in after his Garfield meeting. Community Police Officer.
Good evening. Matt Trustee, Blair Township Community Police Officer. The monthly report for October 2020. My stats: arrests 2, citations 3, complaints 36, traffic crashes 4, warrants obtained 4. In October, I handled 2 sexual assaults involving juveniles. In one case, the victim and parents didn't want to press charges, but they wanted to report it and it to be investigated. It involved TCAPs as well, a school bus, and a lot of different things there. The other one did go to the prosecutor's office just because it had to, not because the victim wanted to or anything, but the prosecutor's office did not charge the suspect. Sometimes it's when they're underage, but their ages are close, the prosecutor decides whether or not to do it. A lot of times they just don't think it's helps anyone. So drug take back was a success on 10/24. I didn't get the total for Blair Township. I'm guessing we had less because we've never had Green Lake do it as well. And I always had a lot of people come from Green Lake, but I still had a ton. And they needed to take them all out of bottles, so you can see the pictures there. That's a big bag. It was heavy. So, quite a bit. All in all, we had 329 pounds from all the CPOs. But the other CPOs were taking bottles and liquids and stuff too, so that throws it off a little bit, but it was a success. Any questions? Excellent.
Thank you. Thanks, Matt. Grand Traverse County Road Commissioners Report.
Andy Meyer, Grand Traverse County Road Commission. This is my last report for you guys.
It's gonna be short and sweet. Hammond Road is open back up. Most of our major projects are done. We're getting ready for the winter maintenance, which could happen tomorrow, it could happen in 2 months, because it is northern Michigan after all. Our crews are still out doing some pothole patching, tree limbs, all that stuff that we normally do, getting ready for next construction season, also trying to do any maintenance that we can. That's within our purview that we've got the skill set for. The millage pass, yay! As I've always said, that whether the millage passes or not, we're gonna do road construction, we're gonna fix the roads the best we can. That just gives us a little bit more, I guess it's still us. Gives us the ability to do a little bit more projects than had that millage not passed. That $3 million turns into anywhere from $5 to $8 million when we use it, able to shift money over, use that money that we would have used on those projects for matches for different grants that we wouldn't have the funds for. So I think that's a great thing. Remember, they're working on that app that's going to allow you guys to report issues. The more times an issue is reported, the more likely it is to pop up or propagate in the system as a thing to be repaired later to save us money long term. So encourage your citizens, if they are telling you about this pothole's never been fixed, it's been here forever, well, maybe the pothole's fixed and the patch comes out within a day. Because it's a patch, that's what it does. The more that's reported, the more that's brought out, the more that's shown that there's an expense on that, the more likely it is that road will get fixed quicker. So that'll help move that up a little bit on that, the scale that they're using on repairs. That's all I've got today.
Thank you. Thank you. Everything.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
And I'll see you guys next month, hopefully.
Okay.
Congratulations, Andy.
Thank you. It's a heartbeat race.
Welcome to the treasurer's club.
Treasurer's report.
All right, general fund, we have $3,408,287. Public safety fund, we have $541,396. Ambulance fund, we have $580,077. Metro Act fund, we have $4,428. Liquor law enforcement fund, we have $30,036. CARES Act, we have $48,053. Sewer fund, we have $1,601,441. Water fund, we have $1,978,109. Current tax collection, we have $119,706. Payroll clearing, we have $57.28. And milfoil, we have $8,387 for a total of $8,319,976.38.
Any questions for Tracy? Announcements and correspondence.
I've got a few. So, oh, here it is. I think Cindy and I finally have recovered from last Tuesday. It was a very busy day. We had 2,503 absentee ballots and 2,198 in-person voters, which amounts to a 67.2% turnout. 4,702 people voted out of our 6,997 voters. And once again, I'd like to thank my election inspectors and everybody that helped with the election, and I am going to name them by name. Rebecca Eitzen, Stephen Weller, Deborah Gleason, Tim Dunn, Diana Elliott, Lori Dunn, Gresham Eitzen, Emily Weller, Emma Gerds, Dawn Conway, Reed Wall, Scott Conway, Renee Stevens, Joanne Tuck, Brian Stevens, Carla Gerds, Rosie Yetter, Dana Cowell, Lloyd Bartlett, Deb Christensen, Tammy Rickard, Ashley Myers, Diana Bartlett, Danielle Beganowski, Alexa Patton, Teresa Voice, Teresa Kalunda, Diane Stockfish, Elaine Fleece, Rita Robinson, Victoria Pratt, Marjorie Long, Linda Maginity, Michelle Folkersma, Lynn Ebinger and Tracy Campbell that fed us all, and Jake Campbell who helped with setup and tear down, Aaron Plowman, John Stockfish, and John Hamstra who were our greeters, and our security traffic control Kobe Taylor and Luke Somso, and my deputy clerk Cindy Wixel.
She was held hostage, I think.
All in all, I mean, it was a busy day, but it went smoother than I had anticipated again. The other things I wanted to mention, made it through the audit. It was a virtual audit this year. Nicole asked me if it was harder that way, and I'm not sure. I kind of liked not having 3 of them here asking me for stuff all the time. But I sent out a draft to all the board members today, so look that over please and let me know if you have questions. So now that I have that back, I will be working on the CVTRS. That's the report we have to send to the state so that we get our cities, villages, and townships revenue sharing. And lastly, we need to talk about, do you want to talk about this at a different time, but a swearing in ceremony?
No, we can, I had it under announcements too, so perfect.
Okay. Well, we all take office at noon on November 20th. I'm gonna have Bonnie swear me in. But we can all be sworn in anytime after the election is certified. Don't laugh, because we're not sure when it'll be certified at this point. But it has to be done by noon on the 20th. And didn't we say that was a Friday, Nicole?
Yep.
It's a week from this Friday.
So what is ever, this would be my preference, but you know, I don't always get what I want. I'd like to do it as much as possible all at one time. You know, 4 years ago, we did a after hours thing, but if we do it on the 20th, we can't wait till after hours. So we would have to, and I can't do it on the 19th, after hours.
I'll be in the UP though, at least the 19th,
When do you leave?
Thursday,
The 12th?
the 12th.
Well, I don't, if the election's not certified by then, Roger, I can't swear you in. So you'd have to be back on the 20th before noon for me to swear you in.
Okay.
Do we want to do it at 9 a.m. on the 20th?
We can do that.
Plan that? Is that good for everybody, or?
I think I'll be up by then.
Okay, I'll come by and honk my horn.
And that would include Cindy and Jake. And I would invite the Emergency Services Director and Chief Parker and the captains. I know all the captains can't be here at the same time, but they really should be sworn in again. And the assessor. Did we say the 20th at 9 a.m.?
Yeah.
At 9.
Yes, a Friday.
Is that too close to noon, or?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we can, I don't usually like to wait, but I think it should be fine. Unless I get hit by a car or something. Then I'll have to go to the county and have Bonnie swear you in.
We'll just come to the hospital and see what you do. What? Do we need a motion or anything, or just?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
That's it for me.
Spring Township Cleanup Day. I heard from, American Waste.
We have it as
Oh.
J.
Oh. Well, never mind.
Forget who I talked to.
Right. Beamelheimer. I think that's all I need. Anybody else have any? No? All right.
Just after this, we want to do a picture of the board for the newsletter.
Tonight,
You look beautiful. Yeah, you do.
Why are you laughing?
you think that's funny?
We'll do it with our masks on. Consent calendar. The purpose of the consent calendar is to expedite business by grouping non-controversial items together to be dealt with in one board motion without discussion. Any member of the board may ask that any item of the consent calendar be removed and placed elsewhere on the agenda for full discussion. Such requests will automatically be respected. Does anybody want anything pulled?
I would move to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Support. It's been moved and supported to approve the consent calendar as presented. Roll call.
Please,
Yes.
Sights,
Yes.
Kuchar,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Lonshine.
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Unfinished old business, item A, grant hazard pay payroll taxes.
All right.
If,
Do you want me to talk?
it wasn't really payroll taxes, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm confused. I thought it was just the change in, what you got there, Trey?
That's what we paid above and beyond the 13,000 that we got the grant for.
Okay, so I guess remind me what
Well,
we're talking about. I thought this was because you hadn't accounted for Lisa's, a third of her pay coming out of zoning.
no, what we talked about was taking out of the general fund contingency
To cover those payroll taxes?
to cover the EMS, or ES, the emergency services
Oh,
payroll
yep.
taxes.
It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah. And that, so that they don't get hit with that in their budget, for something that we did. And it came to, and I said 5,000 to 7,000 was my thought process. It's $4,299.47 was what it actually came to. So my thought process was to take that from general fund contingency and put it over to EMS payroll and fire, because I'm assuming you did it 50-50? Oh, you just all put it to EMS? To,
To make things easy.
yeah. And,
Is that your motion?
okay.
Well, I think the motion should be to move that amount from contingency to the EMS budget.
Mhm.
And then we're gonna end up having to do a budget amendment, but we can do that next
Next
month, because I'm gonna have some other ones.
Okay. Did you guys get that motion?
The motion was to
I
move.
move to I move to move
4,000.
$4,299.47 from general fund contingency to the EMS FICA line item.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to move $4,299.47 from the general fund contingency to the EMS FICA line item. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Kuchar,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Weinstein,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Zeiss,
Yes.
Wolfgang.
Yes.
Okay. Public hearing. First public hearing tonight. Let's close the regular meeting and open up the public hearing at 6:26. This is a public hearing for the proposed amendment to the Blair Township Junkyard Ordinance. Amendment number 102-20-01 to amend section 6.01. Amendment regarding junkyard fencing regulations to be consistent with the Blair Township zoning ordinance. So everybody had a chance to review this. This is a fairly simple amendment, and if you recall, our junkyard ordinance had one specific setback for fences, and our township zoning ordinance for junkyards had a different fencing setback requirements. So this was made aware back in the 90s to the PC and the board, and they acknowledged it, and the changes were never amended and corrected to make them the same. So you can see it's just removing the said setback from 300 feet to 100 feet.
I would move to approve.
Well, let's just wait, because we're in a public hearing.
Oh, that's right,
So
sorry.
I'm opening this up to any public input. I have not received any input from any public. And I don't believe our ZA or ordinance enforcement officer.
This is published and everything that you need to do.
Oh, yes, and this was all published in the Record Eagle, posted, and on our website. Okay, I'm not seeing or hearing anything from the public, so we'll close the public hearing at 6:28 PM.
I would move to approve proposed amendment 102-20-01 to the Blair Township Junkyard Ordinance, amending section 6.01 regarding fencing regulations, changing the setback from 300 feet to 100 feet to be consistent with the Blair Township zoning ordinance, based on the recommendation of the Blair Township Planning Commission.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the proposed amendment to the Blair Township Junkyard Ordinance, amendment number 102-20-01, to amend section 601. An amendment regarding the fencing setback to be consistent with the Blair Township zoning ordinance. Any further discussion? roll call.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Blondstein,
Yes.
Yes.
Fitzpatrick, Leaf,
Yes.
Kuchar,
Yes.
Zeiss.
Yes.
Okay, item B. This is a proposed amendment to the Blair Township zoning ordinance, Amendment 104-05-20-02, to amend Section 16.05, amendments regarding general site landscaping. Going to go ahead and open up the public hearing at 6:30. And this notice has also been printed in the Record Eagle, posted on the boards and on our website. Okay, I'm not seeing or hearing any public input. Close the public hearing at 6:32.
Dennis, do you know what brought this about?
Oh, yeah. It was,
Let's do a motion and then we'll do a discussion.
Okay. I move to approve zoning ordinance amendment 104-05-2002, section 1605 of the Blair Township zoning ordinance regarding general site landscaping based on the recommendation of the Blair Township Planning Commission.
Support.
Discussion.
what it involved was this site landscaping is what goes in the back of the building. So we had
The
3,000.
the apartment complex.
Yeah,
is what-
so it was for
What
like,
brought it about?
for every 3,000 square feet, you had to have so many trees, which was, nobody sees, I mean, it still looks nice, but it was way too many trees for that particular site, so we moved it to 9,000 square feet.
But
There would still be trees.
but it will affect other properties than just this.
Developments going forward.
Yeah, what brought it to light was the size of this development, and then when they started looking
And
at
how
site
many
plan
trees.
developments,
Yeah.
yeah, and how many trees would have been required that weren't necessary.
Mhm.
And then they looked at other potential large developments, that have space like this. So yeah, this will be applicable to any other new
From now
development
on.
going forward. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Zeiss,
Yes.
Leaf,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Kuchar,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Blondstein.
Yes. Item C. This is another public hearing for special use case number SUSPR 20-10-02. The applicant is Wash and Go, and they are requesting the special use site plan review to establish a drive-through car wash on vacant property located at 910 US 31 South, Traverse City. Parcel number 2802-005-060-30 and parcel number 28-02-005-060-40. This is also known as the former Dairyville location. And This public hearing has also been posted in Record Eagle, posted on the bulletin boards and on our website. We'll open up the public hearing at 6:35 PM. Oh, I don't think you said it on the last one. I personally have not received any for or against that amendment or this special use. This is gonna be a really nice looking building.
It'll be nice to see that property used.
I was hoping for another ice cream shop.
Okay, let's go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:37 PM. I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve case, special case SU-SPR 20-10-02. That was recommended by the Planning Commission, and it made it, all the standards it met for section 2204A through G, parcels 28-02-05, -060-30 and 28-02-005-060-40.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve special use case SU-SPR 20-10-02 as recommended by the Planning Commission, as it met all the standards stated in section, what, Dennis?
2204.
2204
Yes.
for parcels 28-02-005-060-30 and 28-02-005-060-40. Any discussion?
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Lees,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Zeit,
Yes.
Flanschein,
Yes.
Kuchera.
Yes.
Item D, adopt resolution 2020-17, 2021 poverty exemption policy and guidelines. I'll make the motion to approve Township Board Resolution 2020-17 and adopt the 2021 poverty exemption policy and guidelines as presented.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve Township Board Resolution 2020-17 and adopt the 2021 poverty exemption policy and guidelines. Any discussion? Roll call.
Kuchera,
Yes.
Lees,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Flanschein,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Zeit,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
Give that to Wick so she can have that. Item E, adopt resolution 2020-18, the park plan grant, the Michigan Township Artistic Paving Plan. This is the resolution for applying for their annual grant funding.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2020-18 for the Power Plan Poverty Grant,
Not a poverty grant.
non-poverty grant.
Poverty was in that last resolution.
Oops, wrong
This is
one.
the
Yep, this is just for
power plan.
for grant.
Power
Grant.
Plan Grant.
For new medical supply storage cabinets.
Did somebody support that?
I'll support.
It's been moved and supported to approve Township Resolution 2020-18, resolution to apply for funding from the Michigan Township Participating Plan. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Campbell,
Yes.
Zeiss,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Landshine,
Yes.
Yes.
Fitzpatrick. Lees,
Yes.
Kuchar,
Yes.
Item F, hazard pay for election workers. So, what did I do here? I think I attached this to the wrong thing. Yeah, I did. So, I attached,
Mine was right.
mine's right, the revenue expenditure,
No, I didn't have that.
that, because it's,
That's on the budget amendment.
it's on the budget amendment, it's supposed to be on the election worker. Anyways, so I told you about this grant. I applied for the grant. They said we got it. There's a lawsuit filed. We never got the money. Long story short, I still would like to pay our election workers hazard pay. And it would be the people listed on here that actually worked on election day. I don't think Lynn Atkinson did, no, nor Ramona Crane. They were both ended up sick. And Melissa Finkbeiner did not either. No, those two were sick. Ramona couldn't work. But this revenue and expenditure was supposed to be attached to show you where I was at in my election budget. But that was before I paid wages for the November 3rd election. So that has changed somewhat by about $10,000. That's $9,717 for election worker wages for this election.
And I only got paid 1 and 5. Is that right?
1 and 4.
1 and 4. Or 1 and 4.
Yep. Because, I think why I did that. I don't know, I'm so confused right now. I don't know. Yeah, because it doesn't show my whole election budget. I don't know. Anyways, I'd like to pay it out of the elections budget if at the end of the year, my elections budget is over. I would, if I have money left in my clerk budget, I would recommend paying it out of that or taking it out of contingency. I talked to Lynette earlier about this. I'm personally torn about this. I mean, I have the utmost respect for election workers. I believe that our election workers are underpaid for the responsibility and the job that they do for the township. But a big part of me thinks that needs to be addressed at budget time. In bringing their wages up, they're not paid much money at all. It's basically a volunteer position. Where I'm really struggling with this is we gave hazard pay to our full-time employees because they've been working through this pandemic for the last 8 months. And it was grant dollars. It was federal grant dollars. It was not taken out of the township general fund. We did not give hazardous duty pay to our part-time emergency service employees who are continuing to work occasional shifts here and there. So this is where I'm struggling, is election workers, they signed up for what they were doing. They are paid. There's not federal grant dollars to be awarded like our full-time employees were given. The fact that we're not giving it to our other part-time employees who work more than just one day and have for the last 8 months to this pandemic that's still going on. I'm just struggling with this. And I talked to Lynette about it today, just try to work through my personal feelings on it. And again, I appreciate them. I think they deserve a pay raise. But I don't think that it's right now. I think we need to address that at budget time and we set the election workers' wages. That's just my opinion. And I guess if somebody could say to me, I don't know, our other part-time employees who are working more than just one day didn't receive hazardous duty pay, so.
I see a difference though, a little bit. I looked at it and then I said, you know, they worked and they were exposed to over 2,000 people coming through there, and that was a big deal. It's like, that's a lot of people.
It is.
That you don't know if any of them are carrying this or not. Hopefully they all had to wear masks.
Who, they didn't have to wear masks.
Well, the voters didn't
The
have
voters
to.
did not.
Okay.
That's why,
Yeah, that was the only thing I
Yeah.
really looked at. I said, holy cow, you know, they were exposed to over 2,000 people, not knowing any of them, or some
Yeah.
of them, but not knowing what's coming through the door. Do
Yeah.
they have it or don't they?
That's valid. That is exactly why we have these conversations.
So that was my only
Mhm.
point of contention, I guess.
And even if we vote tonight to give them, you said it was $100 a piece?
that's what I was
Thank you.
asking
Yeah.
for.
I still think that we need to address election worker wages at budget time.
Yeah. I agree with Dennis. You know, they were exposed to a lot of people.
2,500.
Yeah.
But some weren't, but where do you draw the line? And because like our AV board, us in the kitchen weren't exposed to. I'm torn too, but on the flip side of that, I read MTA this morning, and it seems to be a pattern that they are getting, on the MTA boards this morning, there was a lot talking about paying their election workers hazard pay.
With grant dollars?
Well,
Or-
it didn't specify with grant or what, it just said is anybody paying election workers hazard pay, and some were even backdating till August. Others were paying $500 a person. There's some that's paying $125. So it was all over the board, but there was several that commented that said they are giving.
Right, and I get that. I mean, if we had the grant dollars, we did as a board. We authorized Lynette to apply for that grant. And it was a no-brainer.
Right, I get what you're saying.
Which I did. It's, I did my part and then this lawsuit and we never got the money deposited, so. And I know some jurisdictions have gotten the money. I don't know what's gonna happen with that lawsuit. But I mean, my statutory duty is to run elections, but it's the duty of the township to hold elections which we couldn't do without our election workers.
Well, we know that, and that's not what we're even discussing. What we're discussing is to give them extra pay out of the general fund. And like I said, if it was grant dollars, it's a no-brainer. Where we have other part-time employees who are still working shifts and being exposed to the sickest of the sick people, and we didn't give them hazardous pay. I'm just totally torn.
Me too.
And again, I hopefully in the next 30 seconds, a decision will come to my mind on how to vote.
What would the total come to for that?
The what?
What would the total amount be? Do you have an idea?
Well, I've got on that page listed who would get the
There's
pay.
like 40 of them.
Yeah, so it'd be $4,000. And if that is approved, I would like the letter that I enclosed approved also. I would move to approve paying the election workers listed on the clerk's memo.
These people weren't here.
Right, except for the people, this person was. It was Ramona Crane, Melissa Paintbiner, and Lynn Atkinson.
That weren't.
So that list, excluding those three, $100 each hazard pay for working the November 3rd election, and to approve the election worker thank you letter to be enclosed with their check.
It's been moved and supported to approve paying our election workers each an additional $100 for working the November 3rd, 2020 election. I should say to approve the listed election workers,
Is that security and,
with the exception
Yes.
of the three. Have to pay them each an additional $100 for working the November 3rd, 2020 election. And to include the thank you letter that was presented. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Kuchera,
Yes.
Campbell, I can't hear you, honey.
no,
Lees,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Flanschein,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Zeitz.
Yes.
I know this was who knew we would be in this pandemic situation? But also, I don't want to say I learned a whole lot with this last election, but I definitely had a bigger light bulb go on in my head. And I learned a lot more about in-house election stuff to see the voter registration increase the way it did, the ballots coming in, and how hard these guys were working. And I have a great deal of respect, probably more so than I did before, of the election workers themselves. Because this is a very trying time right now for everybody. Item G, budget amendment.
So my memo pretty much explains things. We got the township, we got the bill for the township's portion of Stadium Drive. And I spoke with Nicole about the state metro road funds because that's pretty much all we can use that money on is roads. So, to cover that bill, we're using the state metro road funds. Tracy transferred the funds into the general fund, and so we need to make a budget amendment to the revenues and the expenditures.
And remember that the cool thing about this is a reimbursable expense to us.
Was that like 10 years or something? The reimbursement.
Well, depending on how fast the development
Oh, okay.
happens up there, to recapture. And the way the development's happening up there, yeah, it's gonna be a lot sooner than later.
Great.
I'll make a motion to transfer in from SMR 101-000-699.001 by $73,132.72. It's an increased revenue that, expenditures that increase highway, streets, and bridge improvement, 101-446-922.00 by $73,132.72.
Support.
Any further discussion? Get back to Rachel. Roll call?
Campbell,
Yes.
Lees,
Yes.
Kuchera,
Yes.
Lundsheim,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Zeitz,
Yes.
Wolfgang.
Yes.
Item H, hire Gary Vites as paid on-call EMT. This is, Samson's request, yes.
Gary, right here.
Oh, he's here. Hi, Gary.
Hi.
Was just over in Green Lake Township, he worked for that up Monson for many years. Interviewed with Duran Johnson and Captain Kraft, and both of them gave his lessons very much.
Great.
I would move to approve hiring Gary Vides as a paid-on-call EMT effective November 16th, 2020, per the EMS coordinator and Captain Kraft's recommendation.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to hire Gary Vites? Vitas as a paid on-call EMT as recommended by the EMS coordinator Grant Johnson and Captain Croft. Any further discussion? Roll call?
Lundsheim,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Zeitz,
Yes.
Lees,
Yes.
Kuchera.
Yes.
Item I, purchase of a new treadmill. I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of a new treadmill from McLean's Cycle and Fitness not to exceed $3,300.
Support.
Any further discussion? It's been moved and supported for the purchase of a new treadmill from McLean's Cycle and Fitness not to exceed $3,300.
Because we don't want Jigger going through the wall.
Right? Roll call vote.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Lundsheim,
Yes.
Lees,
Yes.
Kuchera,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Zeitz.
Yes.
Item J, set date for Spring Township cleanup day. Evidently, we must have talked about this at budget time last year, which would make sense if it was in the spring last year that we talked about the spring of, right, yep, 2021. Because when I called Mark Biebelheimer from American Waste, he's like, yeah, Nicole, we already have you down for, I wrote it down,
Maybe.
May 8th. So we must have talked about that at budget time last year, which would make sense.
I know I got a sticky note on my
Right.
board with 2 different dates that you said they were available.
Oh,
Or
that was
was that for
grandma's.
fall?
That was,
Oh,
that was
okay,
grandma's.
okay.
So, May 8th, does sound good?
Sounds good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so far I haven't got anything scheduled yet.
Okay. I will email American Waste tomorrow. Township newsletter.
So this is still a work in progress. Glennetti still hasn't even seen it to go through it for my grammar and punctuation
No.
and that, so that's gonna need to be done. There's a little bit more we wanna do, and then we wanna do a picture of the board for the next 4 years and put that in there, and put that on the back. Oh my gosh, I just choked. And that's it. So I will email everybody with the final, if that's okay. I mean, this is 90% done.
So did you want a motion on this tonight?
Yeah, so that we can get it out in the mail December 1st. But, I mean, I will email everybody, let you know that, and then you can respond with any comments if there's anything on there that you like or don't like. I apologize for it coming at the 11th hour.
No, that's fine.
We thought we had some more road construction, but we don't. Not in 21.
And we can still work on our spacing and stuff, so.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I
we'll be
said,
able to submit some more.
Mhm. Okay.
I didn't even have time to give it to Lynette for my proofreading, which will need it.
She's got the red pen out already.
Right. Lisi asked for the dates to be remembered on the front page because she keeps getting, well, I didn't see the township cleanup days in the newsletter. That was
Move to approve the Blair Township Winter 2020 newsletter.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the Blair Township 2020 newsletter. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Do you suppose MDOT would somehow inform the public as to how to use a roundabout? Because a lot of people don't, and it's a problem.
That would be me. Yes, I've been stuck in one.
Item L, reappointment
Oh, yeah.
of ZBA and PC.
I would move to reappoint Gary Welch, Mike Mapes, and Roger Zeitz to the Blair Township Zoning Board of Appeals with a term ending 11/30/2023.
It's been moved and supported to reappoint Gary Welch, Mike Mapes, and Roger Zeitz to the Zoning Board of Appeals with terms expiring 11/30/2023. Any discussion? Roll call.
Please,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Blondstein,
Yes.
Kutrah,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Seitz,
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
You can just say
I don't know
please.
if this is right. Then we'd have 3 expiring in 2022. Well, we had
Just-
3 expiring in 2020. All right, I would also move to reappoint Jerry Hine, Dennis Fitzpatrick, and Travis Klaus to the Planning Commission with terms expiring 11/30/2023, and Bob Bovee with a term ending 11/30/2022. Because apparently,
Give that
I
to
don't-
Wixom. That will help you. You're welcome.
And I'll support that.
It's been moved and supported to reappoint, let's see if I can do this without looking. Dennis Fitzpatrick, Travis Klaus,
Jerry
and
Hine,
Jerry Hine to the Planning Commission with terms expiring 11/30/2023, and to reappoint Bob Bovee to the Planning Commission with a term expiring 11/30/2022. Any discussion?
Is Nickerson not on there?
he's not up
He's
for.
not expired.
Oh, he's not expired.
Well, wait a minute. Yeah, he's on there, yep. He doesn't expire till 2022.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Seitz,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Wolfgang,
Yes.
Please,
Yes.
Kutrah,
Yes.
Blondstein.
Yes. Extended public input. Hearing none? Adjournment, 7:07.